Alright gang, welcome back. So, in our last video we talked about the beach mode on the Equinox 600. Today we're going to talk about the field mode. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and press this power button again. We're going to let the detector go ahead and do its startup. Okay, so now the detector started up. Okay, and we're on beach 2, which is the last video that we went over. Now we're going to talk about field mode today. Now I'm not going to do this in a field, but I'm going to do it here at the beach, just so that we can talk about what field 1 and 2 is. Sorry for the noise, very happening place here. So first off, we're going to start by pressing our detection mode button. That brings us to Park 1. Now let's talk about Park 1 for a second, okay? Park 1 is going to be for modernly visited areas. So areas that are recently visited that have maybe a lot of modern stuff in them. That's what your park mode is going to be for. It's not going to be for ancient relics and things like that. At least according to the detector settings, that's what it's going to be. So when we set up for Park 1, what that's going to be is for your larger, more common items. Okay, so if you're just going out for general hunting, and you're at a park or somewhere that's modern, you know, and gets visited a lot by people, go ahead and throw that thing into Park 1. Okay, and that's going to be your general hunting thing. Of course, all of your settings still apply. You hit your little gear icon here. It's going to take you to your noise cancellation mode. So you're in Park 1. You're going to hold your coil off the ground, parallel to the ground, and you're going to hit this check mark, and it's going to go through and cancel out any noisy channels that the detector can detect. We're going to leave our ground balance at 0. Why? Because we're beginners and we want to hear everything. We don't want the detector assuming that we want to cancel stuff out. So we're going to leave that at 0 so we can hear everything naturally. Our volume is going to be at 25 or whatever's comfortable for you. Our threshold level, we're also going to leave at 0 because we don't want to cancel any signals out. We want to hear them all. Our next one is our target tone. That's going to be how many tones you want to hear. And this is all about preference. Each mode's going to have their own default setting for target tones. I run 50. I like hearing a broad spectrum of tones. But if you want to hear only one tone, you can do one. If you want to hear 2 tones or 5 tones, you can hear as many tones as you want. That's all personal preference for you, whatever works best for your style. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Our accept and reject, we're not messing with that. We're beginners. We want to detect everything. And our recovery speed, I suggest using a 3. Okay? Now, I'm going to go through this with each one of these modes and explain what it is. So this recovery speed, according to the material, is how fast the detector will give out a tone and be ready to give another tone out. So the faster your beeps. So if you have 2 targets that are really close to each other, you're supposed to hear a fast beep beep really quickly. If you turn it down to a 1, the tone's going to last longer. So if you have 2 tones close together, they might only be heard as 1 tone. Okay, I like it on 3 because I like that loud, sharp tone. Now, you can play with that one too. Go out and experiment, find out what works best for you. I like to set it at a 3. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of our settings, we're set up, we're ready to detect. Okay, so we're going to press our gear icon and we're in Park 1. Now we're set up. We're ready to go. When you get into this mode, it's automatically going to set up your sensitivity and your gain. Okay, but let's say that you want to set your gain up higher. You want to set your sensitivity up higher. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and hit your plus and your minus. You're going to hit plus. What I tell everybody to do is start out at your highest setting. Okay, and if you're not getting any interference, any tones, any weird tones, anything like that, leave it at the highest setting. But if you're getting interference like we just got, where we're getting numbers without even sweeping our coil, come over here and hit this minus sign. Okay, I go down 2 at a time. Okay, and oh, that was my bad. I pushed the button. So I come down 2 at a time until I'm not getting a lot of interference. So I'm not getting any numbers. And then that's what we're going to detect in. So we're set in park mode and we can go and detect. Well, let's say that we're not really looking for a common broad spectrum of items. Let's say we're looking for something more geared towards fine small pieces of jewelry, rings, necklaces, things like that. Okay, what we're going to want to be in is park 2. So park 1 is geared towards the amplification of your lower signals. So your smaller, lower signals, your big, wide ranges of signals, okay? And then if we come over here and we hit park 2, that's going to bring us over to the detection mode that really enhances your smaller jewelry stuff, okay? So if you're looking for rings, earrings, necklaces, things of that nature, I suggest going to park 2. It's going to amplify your higher tone signals, and it's really going to be looking for those really small signals. Whereas 1 would be what I would use for, let's say, coins and things like that, large common objects, okay? So, just to recap, we're going to turn our detector on. We always want to go through all of our settings, go through each one of them, take a moment, set up your noise cancellation, make sure that all of your advanced stuff is turned off. You don't want anything messing with your signal. Figure out what you're looking for. If you're looking for common everyday hunting, use park 1. If you're looking for more fine jewelry and things like that, higher tones and smaller signals, go over to park 2. The detector is very good at what it does. Let that thing do the work for you. Set your gain. After all your settings are done, go back and set your gain. Find out what's the highest gain setting you can have with the lowest amount of interference. Okay? And you should be good to go. So in our next video, we're going to be talking about field mode, which is pretty similar to park mode, but it offers a really wide range. It's going to be your all over highest detection mode when it comes down to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this park mode, and if you did, please like and share and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.